wounds don't bleed. They just quietly change the way you see yourself, the way you love, the way you survive, and sometimes you don't even realize you've been carrying them until life finally becomes peaceful and your mind still doesn't know how to rest. But before we continue, let's get a drink first. I didn't grow up slowly. I grew up under pressure. Financial stress, instability, adult worries. Those were the things I learned about early. I remember always feeling like I needed to stay calm, like I couldn't afford to become another problem. The child who adjusted quickly, the child who didn't ask for much. But now I realize children usually become easy when they learn too early that there isn't much space for their needs. I used to think I was just mature for my age. That's what people always called me growing up. Mature, responsible, strong. I took pride in that for a long time. I think I just learned really early how to survive privately. But looking back now, I don't think I grew up normally at all. I became a breadwinner at a very young age, 17 years old to be exact. For the record, no one forced to carry everything. I just did. It just happened. I don't regret being a breadwinner. If I had to do it all over again, I would. If anything, I'm grateful for my family. Because while they needed me, they never demanded. They simply accepted whatever I could give. Minsan nga nakakaginti pag di ko nabibigay lahat ng gusto nila. Siyempre, diba? When you love your family, when you love someone, and I think that's what made everything emotionally complicated. Over time, I stopped asking myself how I felt about it because being needed felt like the only stable thing in my life. But now, I understand something I didn't back then. Pwede pa lang mag-exist yung gratitude alongside exhaustion. Na you can love people deeply and still feel tired. Over time, survival makes practicality louder than emotion. Can we get through this month? Can everyone eat? Can things stay stable a little longer? Those thoughts become automatic. As time goes by, you become so focused on functioning that you stop noticing how tired you are. I think that's why a lot of strong people quietly burn out because people admire how much they can carry while never noticing how heavy it became. There are parts of my life I don't talk about often, not because I'm hiding them. I think some experiences are just difficult to explain unless you've lived through survival yourself. I ended up in places I never imagined myself in. Not because it was my dream or because I was reckless, but because when people depend on you, survival changes the questions you ask yourself. You stop asking, is this what I want? And start asking, will this help us get through? Those nights were loud outside. But inside, I was just trying to stay focused on why I was there. Provide, to keep things going, to make sure no one went without. I learned how to adapt quickly, how to stay composed, how to emotionally disconnect and keep functioning anyway. And from the outside, I probably looked okay, but internally, I was just trying to survive one day at a time. And somehow, I made it through. But survival has a way of quietly shaping you. Because even after you leave those places, something stays with you, no? The way you see yourself, the way you measure your worth, the way you learn to endure without being seen. It was something I wasn't proud of, but it was something I had to face. I became useful very early. I think that shaped me more than I realized. Because when you grow up solving problems, people naturally depend on you. And eventually, your value quietly becomes connected to how much you can carry. I liked being dependable. I liked knowing I could help. But somewhere along the way, I think my self-worth attached itself to that role. To being useful, to being needed. I remember feeling uncomfortable whenever I rested too long. Like, I needed to earn it first. Looking back now, I think part of me was afraid that if I stopped giving, maybe I'd stop mattering too. I used to say yes automatically, even when I was exhausted, even when I had nothing left emotionally. And honestly, I didn't notice I was doing it at first. It just became instinct. Because when people depend on you, your brain starts treating everyone else's needs like emergencies, and your own needs become optional. I think that's why boundaries felt so uncomfortable to me. Rest felt guilty, choosing myself felt selfish, and people usually praise you for your self-sacrifice. So you don't realize how unhealthy it becomes. After a while, I stopped expecting help from people, not in an angry way, more like my brain just adapted. I became used to handling things alone, and for a long time, I thought that was strength. But now I think part of it was exhaustion too. Because hyper-independence doesn't always come from confidence. Sometimes it comes from disappointment, from learning too early that relying on people can feel uncertain. And the strange thing is, even when support finally appears, you still struggle to receive it. You become so used to carrying everything alone that help starts feeling unfamiliar. I don't grieve the responsibilities I had. I understand why I carried them. What I grieve sometimes is how fast everything happened. There are versions of me that never really got the chance to exist. Younger versions, softer versions, versions that weren't always surviving. I think survival keeps you too busy to fully feel things in real time. You only understand it later, quietly, in random peaceful moments, when your body finally slows down enough to notice how tired it's been. For a long time, I thought strength meant carrying everything without stopping, without needing anyone, without slowing down. But now, I think real strength might be softer than that. Maybe strength is finally admitting, pagod na ako. Maybe it's learning how to rest without guilt. Maybe it's learning that being loved shouldn't require constant sacrifice. I'm still learning that slowly. But for the first time in a long time, I think I finally want more from life than just surviving it. Anyway, before this gets too heavy too fast, let's do a quick review. This black coffee with orange from Luckin Coffee is surprisingly smooth, citrusy, slightly bitter, refreshing, and weirdly sophisticated. This doesn't taste like a normal coffee run. It tastes like a drink that makes you want to continue the night somewhere with dim lights and cocktails.